For decades, one starship represented everything the Federation believed in. The Galaxy-class USS Enterprise-E wasn't built to conquer worlds. It was designed to explore them. Families lived aboard. Scientists conducted experiments. Diplomats negotiated peace. It was a flying city created for an era where Starfleet believed its greatest mission was discovery. Then everything changed. The Borg nearly wiped out an entire Federation fleet at Wolf 359. The Dominion War pushed Starfleet into the bloodiest conflict in its history. Enemies that once seemed distant suddenly appeared at Earth's doorstep. The Federation learned a painful lesson. Exploration alone wasn't enough anymore. It needed a ship that could still seek out new life. But if diplomacy failed, it could also stand toe-to-toe with the deadliest warships in the Alpha Quadrant. That ship became the Sovereign class. Now, to many fans, it isn't just the most beautiful Enterprise ever built. It is the ultimate expression of Starfleet itself. So what exactly makes the Sovereign class so powerful? The answer isn't simply bigger phasers or stronger shields. Its true strength lies in balance. Unlike many military powers in Star Trek, Starfleet rarely designs vessels for a single purpose. Klingon ships are built for aggression. Romulan warbirds focus on intimidation and stealth. The Borg optimize every cube for assimilation. The Sovereign class does something much harder. It excels at almost everything. Now, at first glance, it resembles earlier Enterprises. The iconic saucer, sleek engineering hull, and twin warp nacelles are all still there. But every line has been refined. The ship is longer, leaner, and noticeably more aerodynamic, even if aerodynamics mean little in space. The design projects speed and confidence before it even fires a shot. It looks less like a luxury cruiser and more like a predator. That appearance reflects the philosophy behind its construction. The Sovereign class wasn't built to start wars. It was built to survive them. One of its greatest strengths is speed. The ship can cruise comfortably at very high warp for extended periods, while reaching emergency speeds that older starships could only sustain briefly. Speed isn't simply about arriving first. It means reinforcing distant colonies before an invasion begins. It means escaping overwhelming odds. It means responding to crises across Federation space faster than almost anything else in the fleet. In a galaxy measured in light years, speed is often the difference between victory and disaster. Then there's its firepower. Compared to the Galaxy class, the Sovereign carries a significantly upgraded arsenal. Its phaser arrays deliver more concentrated energy, with improved firing coverage across nearly every angle. Its quantum torpedoes are especially significant. When these weapons first appeared, they represented one of Starfleet's biggest leaps in offensive capability. Unlike standard photon torpedoes, quantum torpedoes pack vastly greater destructive power, giving the Sovereign the ability to threaten even the heaviest enemy warships. Against Borg vessels, that extra firepower could mean the difference between merely damaging a cube and actually surviving the encounter. Yet weapons alone don't make a ship powerful. A battleship without protection is simply an expensive target. Fortunately, defense is another area where the Sovereign excels. Its shield systems are among the strongest ever deployed on a Federation starship of its era. Improved shield generators distribute energy more efficiently, allowing the ship to withstand prolonged combat against enemies that would overwhelm earlier explorers. The hull itself also benefits from advanced structural integrity systems and stronger materials, making it remarkably resilient even when the shields begin to fail. This combination gives the Sovereign something every captain values: time. Every extra second a ship survives under fire creates opportunities to escape, adapt, or counterattack. Another overlooked advantage is automation. Now, by the late 24th century, Starfleet computers had become vastly more capable. Many systems that once required large crews could now operate with minimal intervention. Although the Sovereign is physically larger than many older vessels, it carries fewer crew members than the Galaxy class. And that isn't because it's less capable, it's because technology allows the ship to accomplish more with fewer people. Fewer crew also means lower life support demands, greater operational efficiency, and less risk during combat. This reflects a broader shift in Starfleet thinking. After years of devastating conflicts, minimizing casualties became just as important as maximizing firepower. Of course, no discussion of the Sovereign class would be complete without mentioning its most famous mission, the USS Enterprise-E. Commanded by Captain Jean-Luc Picard, the Enterprise-E immediately faced one of Starfleet's greatest enemies, the Borg. During the Battle of Sector 001, Picard disobeyed Starfleet's orders to remain in the sidelines. His ship entered the battle against a Borg cube that had already devastated much of the Federation fleet. But using his unique understanding of Borg tactics, Picard identified a structural weakness. The Enterprise-E coordinated the final assault that destroyed the cube before it could reach Earth. That battle perfectly demonstrated what the Sovereign class had been designed to do: not replace exploration, protect it. The Enterprise-E later proved equally capable in missions involving diplomacy, scientific investigation, temporal anomalies, and covert operations. Unlike dedicated warships such as the Defiant, it never abandoned Starfleet's traditional purpose. It simply ensured those missions could continue even in a far more dangerous galaxy. One reason fans admire the Sovereign class is because it represents evolution rather than revolution. Starfleet didn't abandon its ideals after Wolf 359 or the Dominion War. It adapted them. Instead of creating enormous dreadnoughts covered in weapons, engineers designed a vessel where every improvement served multiple purposes. Better sensors enhanced both science and tactical awareness. Faster warp engines improve exploration as much as military response. Stronger shields protected civilians just as effectively as they protected soldiers. Even the ship's luxurious interior wasn't a sign of weakness. Starfleet believed that crews perform better when they can live comfortably during years-long missions far from home. The Sovereign class therefore remained unmistakably a Federation starship. Powerful, yes, but never purely military. Interestingly, its greatest strength may actually be versatility. Many famous science fiction ships dominate one category. The Borg cube overwhelms enemies through sheer size. A Klingon bird of prey relies on surprise. Romulan warbirds exploit cloaking technology. The Defiant is essentially a compact gunship. The Sovereign class refuses to specialize. It can negotiate peace one day, chart an unexplored nebula the next, and fight a fleet engagement the day after that. Few ships in Star Trek history are trusted with such a wide range of responsibilities. That's why it became the Federation flagship. Not because it carried the largest guns, because it could handle almost any mission imaginable. Its influence also shaped future Starfleet design. Later vessels borrowed many of its engineering principles: greater tactical capability, improved automation, more efficient warp systems, and stronger defensive technologies. The Sovereign proved that exploration and combat readiness didn't have to be opposites. They could exist in the same ship. perhaps that's the real reason the Sovereign class remains to be beloved. It arrived at exactly the moment Star Trek itself was changing. The optimistic frontier of earlier decades had become more uncertain. The galaxy was darker, threats were larger, wars were unavoidable. Yet the Sovereign class never surrendered the Federation's core philosophy. It carried laboratories alongside torpedo launchers, diplomatic conference rooms alongside tactical command centers. Families were gone, but hope remained. It was a reminder that strength isn't measured solely by the size of your weapons. It's measured by what you're protecting. In the end, what makes the Sovereign class so powerful isn't its quantum torpedoes. It isn't its warp engines. It isn't its shields or sleek design. It's the fact that it embodies the Federation at its best, strong enough to confront the Borg, fast enough to answer any distress call, advanced enough to push the boundaries of exploration, wise enough to choose diplomacy before battle, and prepared enough to win that battle if diplomacy fails. In a universe filled with planet killers, cloaked warbirds, and unstoppable cybernetic empires, the Sovereign class proved that the Federation's greatest weapon was never overwhelming force. It was the ability to adapt without abandoning its ideals. And that's exactly why, decades after its debut, many fans still consider the Sovereign class the finest starship Starfleet has ever built. And that is all for today. Thanks for watching and catch you in the next one. Take care.